Lately, I've been trying to find inspiration a little differently. Less from scrolling, more from real places. So in this vlog, I'm spending time around Seattle, searching through library shelves and vintage stores, noticing what lingers and what sparks something. At the same time, I'm planning a branding photo shoot for my website, letting those moments shape how I want my work to feel. Just a quiet look at what it's like to live here and to create from what's right in front of you. I've actually been spending the last few days making some long overdue updates to my website. And even though I create content for other brands, it's important to have my own branding as well, which I felt was really missing on my website this time around as I was making updates to it. I do have a photo of myself on the About Me page, but I feel like it's really outdated. I just thought it'd be a fun, creative way to show potential new clients who's really behind the camera and who they would be working with. And also, as I started to plan the branding photos for my website, I really started to think about where creatives get inspiration nowadays. I feel like it's so easy and common for people just to go to Pinterest or Instagram as a default, but we all know that with the rise of AI, there is so much slop on there. And it's gotten to the point where maybe at least for me, it's really easy to tell, and it just becomes a lot of noise to have to sift through to really get to something that feels new and fresh and actually truly inspirational. So I might be dating myself here, but there was a really long period of time where when I worked in the creative industries, we did not have Pinterest or Instagram to fall back on for inspiration. We would go to the library. We would browse books, and since I worked in New York City, I'm not sure if they still have this, but the public library downtown actually had a physical image archive that anybody could access and actually check out images from. And I remember pulling out images from the archive to create mood boards when I was in school. And so I want to get back to that so-called old school, more analog approach of building out mood boards and inspiration and a creative direction for projects moving forward. If not for clients, at least for myself, for the Tiff Tiff Studio brand. So that's the plan for today. We're gonna go on an analog inspiration adventure. Okay, let's go. I'm in Fremont for a meeting, so I thought I would go and check out the library here and start the inspiration search. Lately, I've been spending more time in the library, just wandering without a plan, acting as my own algorithm. I'll pick things up, flip through pages, follow whatever pulls me in. And there's this visceral delight in discovering works that truly inspire me. It feels more personal, more intentional than anything curated for me. Slower, but in the best way. It reminds me that inspiration isn't something fed to us. It's something we notice, something we discover when we slow down enough to actually look. I love coming to thrift stores for inspiration. And Fremont Vintage Mall certainly has no shortage of it, carrying everything from furniture, collectibles, antiques, books, records, art, clothing, and accessories. Every time you walk into a vintage store, it feels like a completely different kind of journey. Some days you'll find nothing, other days you stumble onto something you didn't even know you were looking for, and that's kind of the whole point. It kind of feels like treasure hunting, but without a map. Every rack, every shelf holds something unexpected, something that's already lived a life before you even found it. I like taking my time, running my hands over fabrics that feel different from anything made today, noticing little details like a worn tag, a handwritten price sticker, or the way something's been slightly faded by time. It makes you wonder who owned it before, where it's been, what it meant to someone else. There's a quiet history in everything, even if you'll never fully know it. And then there are those moments where something just clicks. Maybe it reminds you of something from your childhood, or a piece your parents used to have, or even just a feeling you can't quite place. It's like catching glimpses of the past, but somehow filtering them through your own memories at the same time. Nostalgia shows up in unexpected ways. Sometimes it's specific, sometimes it's just a mood. What I love most is that nothing here is really replaceable. You can't just look it up later or order another one online. If something speaks to you, it's kind of a now or never moment, and that makes the whole experience feel more intentional, more present. It's not just about finding something to buy, it's about the process of discovering it, slowing down, paying attention, letting yourself be surprised. In a world where so much is instant and curated, there's something really grounding about that. I'm back, and that was such a lovely outing. So I want to quickly share the 3 books that I ended up checking out from the library. The first one is Cindy Sherman, Imitation of Life. But basically what she's most well known for is taking essentially hundreds of, maybe thousands of self-portraits where essentially she's dressed up as like all different kinds of characters, different personalities, different personas, and she like completely transforms herself with every look that she does. And some go even as far as, some are more contemporary, some are more creative, some definitely reference parts of pop culture, while others also reference or definitely are very based off of fine art. Thought it was kind of fun to see her work throughout the decades, really, and get a sense of how far you can go with taking photos of yourself. You can definitely be creative with your framing and composition still, even if you are like the only one, even if there's nobody behind the camera. And the other one that I picked up I was really interested by this title, actually. It's called The Memory of Time. And so I'll just read you like a blurb from the book. It says, in the decades since 1990, the concepts of time and memory have made a strong return in the work of many photographers who seek not simply to reflect the world, but to illuminate how photography constructs our understanding of it. And I thought that was kind of fitting because a lot of times, even though I am not the work itself, I do have a responsibility to kind of present the personality and the trust behind the Tiff Studio brand. And so I kind of thought this book would kind of present some parallels to the idea of representation through photography. I wasn't planning on shooting any of the branding photos in black and white. But now as I'm seeing how beautiful some of these photographs are, I'm kind of tempted to maybe try some out in black and white. So it could be a cool exercise. And finally, I picked up a book that was called The Hidden Beauty of Seeds and Fruits. It basically is a portfolio collection of Levon Biss. This is the first time I've heard of their work, so I'm not sure if it's Levon. So yes, please correct me or educate me on what the correct pronunciation is if you happen to know. A lot of times, because a lot of the brands I work with include a lot of natural ingredients in their formulations, I have to photograph those as well. So to see how he has chosen to photograph like nuts and seeds and things like that in such beautiful compositions and lighting is really inspiring. I also recently did a series of ingredient still lives for a brand, partly to showcase the scent notes that went into one of their new products. And I kind of wish I had seen this book, or I had come across Biss's work earlier, because that would have been such an amazing source of inspiration and reference. So yeah, I'm excited to flip through these books some more and start gathering some inspiration ideas to plan the Tiff Studio branding shoot. So even though I make a conscious effort to not spend too much time on social media, every once in a while a viral recipe will catch my attention and then I can't stop thinking about it. So case in point, for the last few months, I've been seeing a lot of like a super easy 3 ingredients only tiramisu hack using just Trader Joe's ingredients. I'll insert a clip here just so you have the reference. And honestly, tiramisu is one of my favorite desserts, but because I've been going decaf for the last few months, I'm not able to have it, and I wasn't able to make this dessert hack. However, about a week ago, I saw the same hack, but this time it was for a strawberry shortcake version. I've never had strawberry shortcake before, so I'm not even really sure what that is. And it turned out to be all decaf, which is like perfectly fine for me. There's still a ton of sugar in it, but that's okay. So that's what we're gonna make today. I'm gonna cover this and let this sit in the refrigerator overnight and then try it out the next day. It's now been a couple of hours, which is why I'm dressed completely differently, because I actually need to head out soon. But I just realized I completely forgot one of the main ingredients for this cake. So I'll add that in right now before it's too late and then let it finish doing its thing in the fridge. So that missing ingredient was actually freeze-dried strawberries. It's now the next day, and this is what the strawberry shortcake dessert looks like. I'm so excited to try this, and I thought I would have a taste of this while sketching out some ideas for the brand Photoshoot. I could already tell by scooping the cake out of the container that it's gotten a lot more softer, and the flavors of the strawberry yogurt have really melded into the cookies. It's almost like they're like a sponge cake texture now. So let's try this out. Wow. It's definitely not like the prettiest aesthetic dessert. I think its only saving grace is that it's pink, but if I just cut it, you can see how soft the crackers have become overnight. And I think the freeze-dried strawberries add a perfect touch of tartness. Otherwise, I think this would have been like maybe a little bit too sweet for my liking. So it helps balance that out. And then I'm just having a cup of rooibos tea to go with the strawberry shortcake. It's finally shoot day. I have my hair and makeup done already, and I'm just gonna put together the first backdrop of the shoot before I get changed into the first outfit. The day is already kind of not going as planned. I feel like one of my eyelashes is falling off, but you know what? We don't have time to redo it, which is why I'm talking to you from so far away. I'm not the greatest at makeup. And also, I pulled out one of my favorite dresses that I wanted to wear for the shoot. It's kind of a special occasion dress, which is why I haven't checked on it in a while. And it has mold on it. So I've also spent a good portion of this morning trying to deal with that, trying to see whatever I can do to save the dress. Okay, let's carry on with the shoot. camera on a tripod set up here. It's going to be on self-timer. And then I thought I would try to do some options in front of this curtain, both standing and sitting. And since I needed my actual camera to take the photos, I'm going to be posing with my vintage film camera instead. Okay, let's give this a try. We're currently shooting the second setup, which is going to be the image used for the contact page. So I thought it would be fun to kind of show like a fake office desk setting, complete with camera and a few random skincare and makeup products, aesthetic books, laptop, kind of showing me at work in a way. And I really love using this like old school analog phone as well. Yeah, so far I think I'm having a lot more fun with this setup. And here are the results from the brand shoot. I ended up creating one for the About Me page and another one for the contact page. Ultimately, I wanted to go for a minimal, elegant feel for the photos, inspired by film photography and the warmth of spring and summer. There were a few others that I really liked, but that didn't make the cut for the website, so maybe I'll find another use for them somewhere else. I ended up taking a lot of inspiration from these Uta Barth photographs alongside the warm softness of Levon Biss's works. I'm going to finish up my website now, but thanks for hanging out with me this week. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye!